Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you my 1870-1871 American Buttonhole and Overseaming and Sewing Machine Company model number 1 sewing machine. So this one is pretty old. There's the base. There's an extender table. However, there's nothing to hold it up, so I don't usually use that part, but I finally got this one working. It's so hard to find needles that will work with these super old machines because nothing is standard back then. However, I did find one, and I had to sort of guess about how to thread it and how to adjust the tension. I only could find information about newer versions of this machine where it had tension plates. This one does not have tension plates. It just has this, or I might be missing a piece, so if anybody has any information on that, I'd love to hear it. So again, I just had to sort of assume how it worked. And it's a standard treadle. There's a wheel. It does have a bobbin winder here. However, the rubber belt for that is missing, and I cannot figure out a way to put a new one on because this is sort of riveted into place. So if anybody has any ideas on that, I'd also love to hear. I can wind the bobbin, but not very well because it sort of rides on here, and as you can see, it's making kind of a groove in the metal, but I can always use my little electric bobbin winder if I need to, because this machine actually uses a round bobbin, which is very unusual. Back then it does use the same sort of a shuttle, like the long bobbin types, but it's just used a round bobbin for some reason. So anyway, here's how I threaded it. I went over to here. I wrapped it basically around and through this hole, and then just the more you turn this, the more tension is applied to the thread. However, this doesn't seem like the greatest way to do this because it creates a lot of friction on the thread. So again, if anybody has any idea, let me know. And then down through here, up through there, down through the bottom of this, which is what I could find on similar machines of the era. The needles were sideways, so it came through sideways. There's nothing else to hold it near the needle. Something could be missing, or could just be that that's how it is. I had a round plate. After I sew a little, I'll take that up and we can look in there. But I was able to get it to work. Oops. So hard to do these things one-handed. Go under there. Okay. An unusual way for the foot to lift out of place. Alright, so let's see if this little girl will get working. Oops, going backwards. That's the main thing I have a problem with. Trying to get going forward. And some of these are opposite to the other ones. This wheel runs backwards. Notice I cannot adjust the stitch length for this, or at least not that I know of. Pull your thread that way so you don't break your needle. And it did have a little thread cutter here, which is very cute. Even that was sort of decorative looking. And it's kind of old. Doesn't really want to cut, but wow, it really doesn't want to cut. There. Alright, so here's the stitching. Take a good look at that. So it has sort of a wide stitch, or long stitch. It's pretty good though. I think I got the stitching pretty good, but I think I can only get it so good on here really before it's too much tension on the thread, and it just causes the thread to break. So at any rate, here's how you get in this area. There's this, and this is sort of a pain in the butt to get up. Out of the way. Okay. Take that out of the way. this is its shuttle, which is unusual looking. Get it out of there. I usually have to use my screwdriver to get it out because it's sort of a pain. There. Okay. So that's what its shuttle looks like. Very strange. Very odd compared to other ones of the time. There's this little spring closure to hold the bobbin, and then it's like the cutest little bobbin. Look how big it is. So tiny. Get that out of there. Well, actually, let me not pull it out all the way so you can sort of see. All right. It's wrapped around this little pin, and then it comes up through this hole. So the way to adjust the tension is to spin that with a screwdriver, to twist it around that and through it, and it's almost like a little tuning fork, and come up through the hole. That's really the only way to adjust the tension. And again, it makes a lot of friction on the thread, so I don't think it's ideal, but I mean, this is 1870 we're talking about, as you can see. The last patent listed on here is 1868, so it's pretty darn old. So that's how you do that. The bobbin would go on here. Doesn't stay on here very well. This one's been trying, but you would need your rubber here to make it spin as you're spinning the wheel around and load. So I haven't really done that too much because it's not working that well, but at any rate. So I'm not sure. The only instructions I can find on Ismax are for a newer version of this same shuttle. So it's not quite the same, but I put it in like this, and then I feed it through that tuning fork type thing, wrap it around and pop it up through that hole, and then just pop the whole thing back into here and get going. So hopefully that helped anybody who has one of these machines. If anybody has any more information for me, that would be great. I really can't find much on this. As you can see, that also, here is where the model number is. No, I couldn't find this thing, I had to ask. This is the serial number 32640, and the model number is model number 1. So this is the 32,640th machine they made at the American Buttonhole, Overseaming, and Sewing Machine Company of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Thanks.